my loves. My name is John Crack-a-Lackerman. This is my first video where I've addressed you personally, my viewers, whoever you may be. You are likely one viewer, but you know, there's an imagined audience here. I was thinking earlier about how there are some channels of media which are so bang, 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 quick, that they're hard to keep up with. Have you ever been in a lecture where the professor just keeps talking and talking and talking and talking and spouting information that he or she obviously is a complete expert in, and they've probably done this for years and years and years and years and years, and it's just rolling off their tongues, and they don't give you room to breathe or ask a question or say a word, and so you have to go see them in office hours afterward. And me personally, that's a big no-no. I don't like one-on-one communication, especially when I have to initiate it. So, to avoid that, I decided I intend to breathe while I talk and not cut out the in-between moments. There's a very famous jazz musician, I believe a trumpet player. Not sure of his name. Another thing I'm bad at. He said something significant about silence in song, and how it is integral to the whole of it as the notes, or the words. In other words, the down times, the valleys, the rivers, the ocean, is just as important as the mountain. And this has implications in all areas of our lives. I mean, I think great art is something that really touches something in your heart. And the heart is the place where we know without thinking first things. It's not sensory knowing. It's not knowing because you see it or because you feel it. It's knowing because it's truth, because it's just experience. It's I don't want to say awareness. I don't know why I don't want to say awareness. So this rhythm, if you will, it's made up of the peaks and the valleys. So to support that, I'm going to keep these silences. And I hope that you'll take that time to feel into here. I've found that I am most often about here and down here. I spend very little time here, fairly little time here, a good amount of time up here, some time up here, some time down, all the way down, a lot of time. The phone is ringing. I'm not picking it up. It's a call from Daffodil. I don't even know what the hell that is. Oh, I'm still a little out of focus, aren't I? I'll move forward a little bit for you. And I'll zoom out a little bit. So I thought I might play a little bit of music for you. I've written an album's worth of songs, and now I started with the words first, the poetry, and then I invented melody, let it arise along with the words, and then I started writing ukulele parts, and piano parts, and trumpet parts. And I have performed four of them now. Four of them, yeah. At 2 open mics. This one is called Olive Oil, spelled as Popeye's wife. You smell a flower, I smell of sin. You count the hours, I count the wind. You know what'll occur, I know what I planned. You fret like a bird while I provide the sand. You rub my neck in sweaters and bands, while I wrap your neck in sweaty black hands. We shudder and moan and writhe on the floor. In until you and I are no more. So I kind of messed up the second verse a little bit, and then I just started making up words because I couldn't remember the end. It felt kind of good though. Yeah, so that's called Olive Oil. Sometime I will actually record a good version where I get all the words right. And I'll probably record voice and ukulele separate and then mush them together. I have all the mixing and mastering stuff that I need on my computer, so I can actually produce it myself, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that felt good. I hope you liked that. I like it. I wrote the first part on a camping trip. I was up in the Adirondacks. I climbed up Algonquin Peak barefoot with a big old backpack on my back, and wow, kind of uneven. It's intriguing. Anyway, yeah, I hiked it barefoot, and a lot of this path was gravel covered, and if you ever walk barefoot, you know, gravel is the worst thing to work on, because it's these tiny little pieces of rock, but they're sharp. And if there's small pebbles and they're sharp, it's fine. My feet can roll over them. If it's big boulders, I can just walk right over them. Even little things like this. But these little gravel pieces, it's like they put it there just so people don't walk barefoot. Just so people will buy Nikes and Adidas and keep the shoe companies in business. Because honestly, walking barefoot, so much better than walking in shoes. It just feels better. Okay, walking on asphalt sucks, and paved roads sucks, and pool sidings, the brick, it sucks. Walking on grass, or dirt, or in mud, or on moss, that's the good stuff. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to talk to you about? I could play another song. I could just sing it. Although, I'm not sure I have any of the other songs memorized. I thought I had that song memorized, but... Oh, anyway, going back to the end of the story, I didn't finish. So I climbed up the peak. It was great. Huge, expansive view. I mean, it was just wonderful. Climbed down. it was basically a climb up a creek bed with waterfalls, and we were hiking through this creek bed through waterfalls and everything. It was awesome. And I'm still out of focus. Whatever. And anyway, we got down, and I hadn't showered in a couple of days. It was kind of cold in the morning, so I didn't really want to jump in the creek, but I worked up my nerve, jumped in the creek. Absolutely phenomenal. It was like you want electrical power, throw some water down a chute. That just jolted me awake. And then I went back to the lean-to, and I wrote the first verse. It just kind of came up out of me. And then the second one I wrote when I was on a business trip in a machine shop, and I was bored silly. Because I was basically just watching my superior, who I came with, do the work. And it was real just dry. Like, he had to just drill holes in the floor, all for the machines to bolt it to the floor. And so I was just standing there. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to write something. The poem had been going through my mind like the night before. I probably dreamed about it. And I knew what it was about, essentially, and I knew how I wanted to continue it just based on that. Logically, it had to follow. And, well, if you couldn't tell, it's about a relationship between a man and a woman who conceive a child. You and I are no more is more than just the physical union. It's also the communion that comes from that, the child that is born. And then the second verse is all about having had the child. I'll tell you the actual correct lyrics for the second verse. It goes, "You gave your power, I gave my skin. You got a shower, I got a pin. There it is. You made a new name, I played an old hand. You settled for third, I founded a band. You wrestled with piles of letters and cans. I rattled the bars of the cage of demand. We muscle and moan and cry on the floor, resigning until you and I sum to four. So the second verse is about having the child and what the experience is like. I won't dig much more into the metaphors because I just don't like doing that. I don't like to define metaphors because then they aren't metaphors anymore. Metaphors are something beyond time, beyond the fourth dimension. In 3 dimensions, we have definitions of everything. But a metaphor is something that can break that. I can break through time. A shower means so many things. A power, a name, a hand. I use so many generalities in my poems because they're meant to be universal. They're meant to go beyond these constraints. The manacles, the folds in my skin, the balance beam, the scales on our eyes, the constant judgment of this and that. The reason to do this is because the this and that level is low. It's not just low. It's slow, it's not expansive, it's contractive. It's the same level as the digestive system. It pulls in, it contracts, it passes through, passes on, it's his story, it's heresy. But beyond that level is the four, the heart level. This is another expansive layer, much more expansive than the contraction down below. It is the opening of the flower. And above it is the flower. Above it is the thoughts, is the feelings, is the sensations, is the sparks. The ideas, the dreams, the clouds, the sun, the moon, the stars, everything else beyond ourselves. It's where we can get beyond ourselves. From the heart we can breathe out, or we can breathe in. But digestion only comes in, and my senses only go out. Only from the heart can we have both. It's the 2 squared, and the 3 which takes 4. One from above, one from below. So the 2 squared is 4 and 8. The additional 4 is 12. And the up and down is 14. The additional 4 is the left and right passages between the lungs and the heart. And then there's the 2 air tubes, so that's 16. So what? So metaphor is useful for getting into here. So what? Here is the place of union. So what? Union ceases the spinning, the balancing, the constant teetering and tottering between this and that, and I want, and you want, and we want, and 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 want. Instead of all that, it just is. It's a plain of green. I mean, it's the grass, it's the ground. It's so simple and expansive and detailed, so richly detailed. I do a lot of photography of tiny little things in the grass, just to show how marvelously huge it is. Okay, I think that's about good. I'm not sure how long it's been, but I'm getting a feeling that I have to go and do something else for a while. So, God bless you. Hare Krishna. Praise Allah. I have Jesus in my heart, and Krishna, and the Baba Kai Gai, and the Buddha, and all the pastors and reverends and priests and cardinals and saints and bhakti yogis and Buddhist monks. And yeah, I'm very, very, very spiritual and into religion. Oh, I had one more thought. Every great being, religious being, is someone who has been a philosopher, a psychologist, a knower of the unknowns of being. And that is so impossibly intriguing to me. There's nothing else that matters. I'm only in mechanical engineering because I have an uncle who really pushed me into it. And I let him because, I don't know, it kind of scares me. I think I was really mean to him when I was a kid and he got really mad at me and made me cry. Anyway, I don't really like it that much. And this is what I'd rather do. And I'm kind of doing it through getting a ministerial certification through Unity Church. I mentioned unity before as being the heart coming together. And it's a tradition. I gotta stop doing that. It's a tradition. It's the perennial tradition. Getting to the heart is always the tradition. No matter what the subject or the object. It is the story. That is the golden loom upon which everything is written. Anyway, I think I'll wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. I am John Crackle-Ackerman. You can find me on Instagram at Crackle-Ackerman, or you can check out my website, www.crackleackerman.com. I will put those in the link below, or in a few links. Or I have one of those link things, link trees. I'll post my link tree. Yeah, more to come soon. I'll be recording some music. I hope you enjoyed Olive Oil. I hope you'll leave a comment on anything, really. Yeah, hit me up anywhere on Instagram. Gmail also, same thing, crackleackerman@gmail.com. That's all, folks.